Hi everyone, Zach Pakoff here, and welcome back to another lesson video. Today, I will be going over the 7-1 text. So let's jump right into the video.
Alright, so as I had stated before, I am going to be going over the 7-1 text. So we're starting our new chapter today, and in this chapter, we will be learning about financial statements for a proprietorship. In addition to that, we will also be learning about how to define accounting terms related to financial statements for a service business organized as a proprietorship, identify accounting concepts and practices related to preparation of financial statements for a service business organized as a proprietorship, prepare an income statement for a service business organized as a proprietorship, and analyze an income statement using component percentages, and finally, prepare a balance sheet for a service business organized as a proprietorship. Okay, so now that I've read over the learning objectives, let's jump right into the 7-1 text. Alrighty, so now we're going to be moving on to the 7-1 text, which is the first lesson of Chapter 7. And throughout this lesson, we will be learning about how to prepare an income statement. Okay, so just a few key terms that I'd like to go over before we start the accounting part of this lesson. So stakeholders are any persons or groups who will be affected by an action. And a component percentage is the percentage relationship between one financial statement item and the total that includes that item. Alright, next we're going to be talking about income statement information on a worksheet. So as we learned in the last chapter, our revenue and expenses go on our income statement. And the purpose of an income statement is to determine whether we have made money or lost money. So as you can see here, there is a net income because the revenue is higher than the expenses. If the opposite were to occur and the expenses were higher than the revenue, then it would be a net loss. Okay, next we're going to be talking about preparing the heading of an income statement. So when we prepare the heading of an income statement, there are a few steps that we follow when doing this process. First, we center the name of the company on the first line. Next, we center the name of the report on the second line. And finally, we center the date of the report on the third line. Alright, next we're going to be talking about the revenue, expense, and net income sections of an income statement. So the different numbers here are showing us the revenue, expense, and net income sections on this income statement. So number 1 is showing us the revenue. Number 2 is showing us the account title. Number 3 is showing us the revenue amount. Number 4 is showing us the expenses. Number 5 is showing us the account titles. Number 6 is showing us the expense amount. Number 7 is showing us a single line rule. Number 8 is showing us the total expenses. Number 9 is showing us the total of the expenses. Number 10 is showing us that we calculate net income. Number 11 shows us that we draw a single line rule. Number 12 is showing us the net income. Number 13 is showing us that we record the net income. And number 14 is showing us that we draw a double line rule. Okay, next we're going to be talking about the component percentage analysis of an income statement. So if you look here, there is a new column called percentage of sales. And sales, which falls under the revenue category for account classification, is always going to be 100%. And the reason that this is 100.0% is because we round it to the nearest tenth of a percentage. So the way that we calculate the percentage of sales for total expenses is by taking the total amount of the expenses and dividing it by sales. And then we record the percentage right here. We do the same thing for net income. We take the net income, divide it by total sales, and then record it in the percentage, record the percentage right here. And these two, when added together, will equal 100%. Alright, so the last thing that we're going to talk about in this lesson is going to be an income statement with two sources of revenue and a net loss. So the different numbers here are showing us the income statement with two sources of revenue and also a net loss. So number 1 is showing us the revenue. Number 2 is showing us the account titles. Number 3 is showing us the revenue amounts. Number 4 is showing us the total of the revenue. Number 5 is showing us the total revenue. Number 6 is showing us the net loss. And number 7 is showing us that we record the net loss. Now, as you can see here, this number is written in parentheses. That's because if we take the total revenue and subtract it from the total expenses, it's going to give us a negative number, and we don't write negative numbers in accounting. Instead, we use parentheses to indicate that there is a negative number. Also, for the percentage of sales, we write that number in parentheses as well because we are dividing a negative number by sales. So therefore, we write the percentage in parentheses to indicate that there is a negative number or percentage given. Alright, so that is the end of the 7-1 text. In the next video, I will be going over the 7-1 work together. Okay, thank you.